Hello everyone, this is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. Today we are starting our Christmas tutorials event of 2021. We are going to do this a little bit different this year. We are going to have an advent calendar of sorts for you with 24 days full of tutorials. I'm going to start on our YouTube channel right here for the first 12 days, and then our design team is going to join in on day 13 on our blog. If you're not familiar, if you don't know how to find our blog, you can go directly to our website, to lalalandcrafts.com, and then from there click on blog. We are going to have some giveaways as well. We are going to give away three $50 gift certificates to our online store, and the winners will be picked from the comments on both on the YouTube channel on these videos and on our blog. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when the new tutorials are live, but I'll also be posting all the links in the video description for each day. So if you miss someday and you're watching it on the following day, just look in the video description and there'll be the link there to all of the tutorials all together. We are starting today with this gold and white card, and if you've been following me, you know this is kind of my signature thing, and every year I get asked for new designs. So this is our gold and white design of 2021, and as you might see, I am using some of our new products just released last month and some of the older. You'll know how I like to mix and match. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the tutorial. As you can see, I have all of my layers for the card already cut, and I have all of my die cutting done. For my card base, I'm using white cardstock, and it measures 9 by 6.5, and I scored it in half at 4.5. I have 2 layers of gold cardstock, 4.25 by 6.25, and then I have 2 layers of white cardstock, 4 by 6. For my die cutting, I used our new snow globe die. I'm only using the top part of the die for this project, and I die cut it in chipboard, in gold cardstock, and in white cardstock. I used our new trees die, and I die cut this one from chipboard and from gold cardstock. Then from the 2 deer die, I'm only using the one with the antlers, and again it's from chipboard and from the gold cardstock. This is also a new die from the last release. This one is called 3 Snowflakes, and I die cut it, the whole set, from the white cardstock. These are our older dies, so you might already have them. You might already have the new ones too if you shopped our new release recently. So this is poinsettia die, and I just love the size of it. I just love the shape of it. I love how it has this texture, stitched texture in it there. So I die cut the flower itself, poinsettia itself, from white cardstock, and then I die cut the centerpiece. It's this little die right here from gold cardstock. Then I used our icicles border, and I cut it from chipboard and white. And this one right here is winter branches, and I die cut it twice from white cardstock, so I have 2 of each branches. I'll post the links to all of the products used on the video description below, as well as the measurements for the card layers. I'm also going to use one of our layer and stencil set. This one is called Snowy Hills, and we're going to use this part of the stencil, the one that looks like snowflakes. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to emboss one of my white layers with the texture, with the snowflake texture. The stencil pretty much covers the whole area, so I'm going to center it, and I'm going to use my rubber mat, and this is the way I'm going to put it into my die cutting machine. So my paper is sandwiched between the rubber mat and the stencil. I'm using my crossover machine, and I set the dial to 10. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to run it once, and I'm going to come back just to give it a little bit deeper of impression. Now when I remove it, you can see this pretty embossed design. Now I'm going to grab my scoring board. This is a little one called Score Buddy, and I'm going to turn the embossed layer so the embossed areas are upside down, and I'm going to go around and give it 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And this is something I do on all of my cards. If you've seen my tutorials before, I think it just adds another element of interest to our projects. And I'm going to do the same on my second piece of the white cardstock. This will be our inside layer. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now, since I have my scoring board still here, I'm going to do this kind of dry embossing on the white layer of the snow globe. So it's kind of like a tall dome here. So first thing, I'm going to cut this. It has, you can see it has like a rounded edge, and for this project we don't need that. We just need it to be straight. So I'm just going to cut. You can use scissors or you can use your die cutter and just cut from one point to the other. Just make it straight, and you can do it on all the layers all at once. And again, you can use your paper trimmer if it's easier, or the scissors. So now I'm going to turn this layer upside down, so the pretty side down, and I'm going to use 1/8 of an inch marks, and I'm going to go all over this layer at 1/8 of an inch intervals. This piece of the snow globe die, I think, creates also a very nice, kind of like nice backdrop to put some images on, put die cuts like we're gonna do on this card in front of it. So it created kind of almost like a corrugated effect, and I just really love the texture of this. So now let's go ahead and glue layers that we have onto their chipboard mates. So we have our dome, we have our icicle border, reindeer, and the trees. I'm going to use dry clear adhesive by Art Glitter. The next thing, I'm going to glue 2 of the layers of the poinsettia together, the smaller onto the larger, and then we have the gold little piece for the center. Before I glue them, I like to give them a little bit of the shape, so you just need some kind of some rounded pencil or a pen, and I'm gonna hold it upside down, and I'm just gonna have petals roll over my pen just to get it a little bit of the shape. And then when I turn it to the right side, I'm going to kind of press it in the center so it creates this effect. I'm going to do the same with the larger one. I'm holding petals pretty tight because I don't want to tear them out, and then press from the center. And now this is pretty random how they go on top of each other. If you have a preference, you can just kind of dry fit them and see how they go, or you can just take a chance and just put it on, because it's just gonna look either way, gonna look good either way you put it. And then the little centerpiece, you can put little dab of glue in the center and sit this on. So now we have all of our layers prepped, and we can start assembling the card. I'm going to grab my embossed layer with the snowflakes and one of my gold layers and glue them together. Now I have a piece of 4 by 6 of the foam, and this is 3 millimeter, and I like using this foam better than foam tape because it just creates nice and even layer for the back of my card. So I'm going to attach that, and I'm going to put adhesive onto the layer. I find it easier than putting that onto the foam. Then I can glue the foam on from the back, and now we can attach this whole layer onto our card. So again, I'm going to put the glue onto the cardstock. I'm leaving about 1/2 inch on each side, and that goes on here. One more thing that I have not done yet is going to show you how to create gold layer behind our snow globe part. The snow globe die just comes with 1 layer, so there's no layering part to it, but we can, I say fake it, but it's like creative crafting. We can make a layer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, if you move it about 1/8 of an inch to the side, from the back and from the top, you'll see where it ends, where they start kind of connecting. So if you kind of eyeball it and take it to your cutter, I would say take it to your cutter, or you know, I think I can even do it by hand. Can cut layer off right here. And it doesn't even need to be straight or even this line, because we just need the outline on the outside. And then we can simply glue it from the back. And there'll be a little bit of the space there, but with the design that we're creating, we're going to hide it. Now I like first kind of layering everything onto my card front to see how everything fits before I start gluing pieces. I'm going to grab 2 of my snowflakes, the larger and the smaller one, and I'm going to cut each one apart in half. And we're going to use 1/2 on the front of the card, and we're going to save the other one for the center. So these 2 together, we can go ahead and glue them, glue the smaller one on top of the larger one. These snowflakes look really, really pretty layered, or you can use them on their own. I like layered effects because it creates more texture. So this is going to be tucked in behind. We're going to have our icicles border on the bottom right here, but as you can see, it's longer. So I'm going to see where it ends. I'm going to cut off 4 of the icicles right there from the right side. So this gives me straight line right here. See, I'm gonna lift this a little bit so there is room for my icicles border. Then we have our trees. And I think I'm going to cut them down just a tiny bit. So I'm going to cut off about 1/4 inch on the bottom, because I want them to go next on my icicles border. If I start layering them, it's a little bit too thick because we're using so much chipboard. Then we have our reindeer, and he can go a little lower. And then we're going to have our poinsettia die here, and we're going to tuck in the branches. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to take pieces off and glue them back on. I can glue on my snowflake while I have everything lined up. Now we can see how we want to position our winter branches. Just tuck them under there. Again, first I'm just positioning them, and then I'm going to remove one at a time and glue them back on. I really love this kind of collage effect, and this brushed gold paper with white cardstock just creates such a nice, elegant, and kind of old times, like almost vintage kind of look to the card. And the chipboard offsets the shapes without creating too much bulk on your cards. I really love that. If you need help finding this brushed gold cardstock, it's by Neenah. I can probably I'll see if I can put some links in the description for you, or at least the name of it. I'll put the name of it in the description, and then you can see where you can find it locally, or if you need to order it. The front of the card is finished. Let's work on the inside, because you know I like finishing the insides of my cards. We have our last layer, and this is the layer that we already did the embossing on. And we have our snowflakes here. So what I was thinking, we're just going to simply glue them on. So I think I like the larger one at the bottom. I still have this small one. Let's see if we can add this one on as well. I'm gonna cut it in half. Yeah, why not? We already have it. So I'm going to glue all of the snowflakes, or half of the snowflakes, not to the side of the cardstock. I kind of like it onto the embossed line that we created. And now we can put it onto the gold layer. And now inside of the card. I really love how the white on white looks like. It almost looks like it's embossed, but it has like so much texture because it's actual die cut there. And this completes our first card. Don't forget to comment on the video for a chance to win one of three $50 gift certificate to our online store. I hope you liked this tutorial. I hope you learned a couple of things, and we'll give this a try. As you can see, it's a pretty simple card once you have everything cut and die cut. Well, simple in a way, it's not easy to put it together. But it does have a really nice kind of wow effect with all of the textures that we created. I'll see you all tomorrow for our day 2. Bye for now. Much love.